I was diagnosed as having lymphoma in stage 4, I knew that I was dying. I didn't have any question about it. The doctors didn't have to tell me that. My uncle, who is a respected cancer researcher, told me that I might just as well enjoy my last days on earth. But I wasn't able to just follow along with that. I was extremely terrified. I was not in the least bit classy. I just didn't have any social grace about me in the least. I knew from what I'd learned before and from what people around me were saying that I needed to have a good attitude. And that was even more terrifying because I didn't have the slightest clue how to get a good attitude. And I also knew you had to have a lot of it. So it just felt extremely hopeless to me that I would be able to even live through the terror. The terror was worse than having the cancer. I have come to see since then that one of the neat things I did was allow myself to be such a mess. I didn't put on a good act. I didn't have a stiff upper lip. I didn't do anything other than just to be how I was. I recommend that very highly, to just let yourself be how you are. Very hard to do because we constantly feel that we have to be looking good. I feel looking good is one of the worst things that can happen to somebody with cancer. Having a good attitude is something that worries me the most with my clients. If they just come marching in and just had major surgery and they say, oh, everything's just great, that's when I really worry about them. When something terrible goes on like this, it's very appropriate to have some pretty heavy-duty emotions around it. I never ever thought I had what it took to get over cancer. And after I got over it physically, I looked back and I said, I just don't have what it takes. I was still stuck back in the past belief, which shows how you don't really need to believe everything your mouth says. I just am amazed at what I've done. I have clients come to me all the time and say, I just don't have what it takes to get over it. And I always let them know, neither did I, and neither do I. But somehow, there's always what you need available. I don't feel we're ever given anything that we can't handle. And there have been many, many, many times when I've just known it was just too overwhelming. I knew I couldn't do it anymore. And I've just gone ahead and done it anyway. You know, I bitch and moan all the way to doing what I do. I was broke. I had no money. My cancer vitamins that I decided to take cost more than my husband was earning a week. We just were destitute. And so that was another reason I thought I would die. I found that everything appears. It's very flaky sounding, but it in fact is true, and I've run my life that way for 7 years. Everything I need is always available for me, including guts and courage, money, love. The thing I had to learn was to be a little more flexible, to dare to trust that something would be there when I needed it, and to stop having it have to be a certain thing, to open up to the fact that it might be something totally different than what I was expecting. But all my needs are met. And I've never had much money. I made it through. It's not got to do with money. There's an awful lot of ways we can talk ourselves out of doing what needs to be done, and one of them is to say we don't have enough money, one of them is to say we don't have any guts, one of them is to say we're too old, one of them is to say that we're just not like other people, that we were born too flawed. I don't know anybody I've ever worked with who I feel was as damaged as I was. I have gone through hell. Life has been a torture for me. And I still was able to heal that. And if I can heal it, I say any of you can too. Don't talk yourself out of doing what needs to be done because you deserve yourself. You deserve to be there for yourself. And that's learning to love yourself, just being there, forcing yourself to do it. It won't come naturally at first.